All right, so for today, it's going to be Tuesday, May 12th, and here are your ELA expectations. Remember, I have Zoom Mondays and Wednesdays, all right? The link is on the page, and all you have to do is ask if you need me. Hop on, and I'll help you out from 2 to 3. Remember, why are you getting on Zoom? Well, it's if you're stuck on an assignment, if you need someone to explain a little bit better, you don't get a question, you can't find the text. These are reasons to hop on Zoom. Remember, if you get stuck on an assignment, I want you to stop, message me on Edsby, ask for help, and then if it's Monday or Wednesday, get on from 2 to 3. Please don't complete an assignment if you can't find text. Ask where it is. Ask for help. And remember, I will always create a Zoom session for us, even if it's not Monday or Wednesday. All you have to do is ask. So, why are we reading this on Myon this week? Same thing. Same 3 different options. Either go on Myon under week 7 learning, search Florida in Myon and it'll come up, or open the PDF. But remember, there's no audio if you open that PDF. Today you're working on pages 8 to 11 and we're working on important information again. So let's figure out how can we determine what's important that I need to know. So what can I determine that's important about weather? So if you look, there's this whole neat little graph here about averages of highs and lows of temperatures, but it's all of the months. But if you look in the paragraph, it's only talking about winter and it's talking about summer, which I notice is a little bit different. So that's what I talked about. I see the graph shows averages, highs, and lows in all of the months, but the graph actually shows all the months, whereas the text only talks about summer and winter. So what's important in these next 3 pages that you're going to notice? Well, I see the Florida Keys, I see Walt Disney World, I see Busch Gardens, and they were labeled as landmarks. That was our heading. So I'm probably going to be reading about important landmarks in Florida. So I now know Busch Gardens, the Florida Keys, and Walt Disney World are important. Today we're going to have a text structure review because one of your questions is about text structure. So if you notice, you have 2 different little anchor charts that might be beneficial to look at. Remember, text structure, description, sequence of events, which would be chronological order, compare and contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution. So remember, description would be like describing characteristics and features. Sequencing would be first, next, then, last. Comparing and contrasting would be comparing 2 or more things, finding things that are similar, finding things that are different. Cause and effect, it's explaining why something happened or when something, when something makes something else happen. Problem and solution, there's a problem and we need to find a way to fix it. So you might want to take a look at this specifically. So question 1 on page 8, what information can be learned from the graph that can't be learned from the text? Well, this was the one about that graph. And what I noticed was that the graph shows every month average of temperatures, but the text doesn't, and that might be important to understand. Then question 2, what's the overall structure on pages 8 to 11? Hint, remember, what are we learning about? Was it describing something? Was it comparing, problem, chronological order? What's there? What I noticed on these pages specifically, it starts describing the weather, and we start learning about those landmarks. Question 3 is asking you to explain your answer to question 2. So how did you determine this? What's being presented? So think, something got described. What was it? Your challenge word is seagull. And then we come to give me your opinion. And a lot of you are messing this up still. And if you watch these videos all the way through, you shouldn't be. You have to write incomplete sentences. You can't just write I agree or disagree or because I like it, which is what a lot of you did on that pizza one last week. So today's topic, going to the pool is way better than going to the beach. So how do you do this properly? Well, you need to restate your opinion. I agree that blank. So in this case, I agree that going to the pool is better than going to the beach, period. Or I disagree that going to the pool is better, period. You have to give 2 reasons, and it can't just be because I like it. This means that you have to give 2 to 4 sentences in order to receive full credit. So then I gave 2 examples, and remember, you only have to pick one. You either agree with it or you disagree. You can't go both ways. So I agree with you that going to the pool is better than going to the beach. I think this because the pool is usually less crowded than the beach. This allows me to be able to swim more and not feel like people are always nearby. I also prefer not having to get all that sand on me and have to deal with salt water getting in my eyes. It always burns. So I've given you 2 reasons. 1, it's less crowded. 2, I don't have to get salt water in my eyes. Or I could disagree. I prefer going to the beach over the pool. The water is sometimes warmer at the beach and I don't get chlorine in my eyes. So there's one reason, warmer and chlorine. I combine the idea. My second reasoning was I also prefer being able to make sandcastles and ride in the waves. So that was my example. Boys and girls, please look at these examples. This is what I'm expecting when you write. If you have any questions, let me know.